You also indicated yesterday, and maybe I should also just get clarity on this, that you saw messages on his phone, Kat's phone, from the minister. Am I correct?
Yes, those messages that were either from Kat coming, they were sent to my phone. So I read them in my phone, coming from Kat to say, this is what he has received from the minister.
Okay, I thought yesterday you were saying that you saw evidence on Kat's phone that the minister and him were engaging. That's not so.
No, it was on Kat's phone, but it was sent to my phone.
And then how did you verify that those messages were indeed from Minister Mchunu?
Well, I was told that were from Minister Mchunu by a Kat, but verification it was not not done.
Did you engage your comrade? Because you refer to him as your comrade. I mean, you're both long-serving members, senior members for that in the ANC. Because you meet this person, minister, for the first time, and he's telling you these things about the minister and financing his campaign. Did you engage your comrade about that? Because who else could he be telling? And Minister Mchunu, whether you like it or not, is your comrade. You don't know Kat.
Well, I don't regard him as a comrade. He is a comrade.
You don't what? Sorry, I didn't get that.
You said I regard him as a comrade.
You said
no, I
that.
don't regard him as a comrade. He is a comrade.
Okay.
I did say, honorable member, that I did try to engage him to talk about things, including mayor and all somewhere in January, where I was not offered the opportunity to discuss the matters.
And then what was your intention? Because you said you wanted information from Kat many times and very animated at that minister. So what was your intention on using this information about Kat regarding Minister Mchunu that superseded the fact that this Kat has told you that he signed, that he committed a criminal offense? He signed a sworn affidavit saying that police stole his Rolex watches and they didn't.
Well, the information started from there, but it was interesting that I was part of the discussions as they were talking about the project. So I wanted to hear what more was said about me going forward, working on the project that he was asked to fund. And as I've said, honorable member, that I would not have said no to information, especially when it involves me. I said, one of the discussions says, we'll work well so long we don't work with Cele and Zuma, but sometimes the document that was very old, it was sent as it was going to be used as a basis of arresting me and all that. So with such information, I would not have stayed far to understand what's going on, what is discussed about me.
So your intention on accessing this information was pretty much to protect yourself and also, to an extent, General Khumalo?
And understand what is happening and what is said about me, yes.
And what would you have done? Or what were you planning to do? Was it just a way on how you were going to maneuver or navigate?
Well, it would have been good to speak to the minister as my comrade about it. That has not happened. I've made the fact that I did try, but I didn't win that battle. But also, it would be good to know what is planned about me, so that whatever way to defend myself is looked at, and any action to defend myself is taken.
On the issue, General, of Matlala, Mr. Matlala, when in your statement you indicated that when he sent a message to somebody alerting them that we are going to come and make use of his facility or the place. Now in that message he says he referred to you as a business partner and a friend, something that you have firmly disputed in this meeting. Do you think that the possibility also exists that either everything or almost everything, or some of what Matlala had told you about Minister Mkhunu were simply a constructed lie?
The story told will be forever 50-50 whether truth or lies until it's verified. But my problem here is Matlala says I'll be arrested because of this document. He says, here is a document sent to me by Mkhunu/Mogotsi. So that then gives me the understanding that is correspondence. You could go for the investigation and find that he got the document from somewhere. But if it's true that it was sent through Minister Mkhunu/Mogotsi, they would have to explain, to say, what was the role of that document playing in their correspondence, except saying, look at them. They are not clean as they are. I'm going to find them.
No, but I'm saying, I know that honorable member may want to make a follow-up. I'm saying general. In terms of, this is a man you now have presented evidence before us, that this is a man who lies without being under pressure. Because when he sends a message to the third party, that please arrange for the place because my friend and a business partner is coming, that's lying without pressure. Why is it difficult for you to concede that it may very well be that in some of his assertion to you, he was acting in a way that he subsequently acted to you when he lied about you being a friend and being a business partner?
It's exactly the point I'm making, honorable member, to say the document that is sent to him, and on those bases, the minister argues or stroke Mogotsi that the action will be taken, tells me that there is such a communication. That's why I'm saying 50-50, that there are things that could be lies. But when it comes to this one, only one thing that will make me change my mind on this one, if the document was not sent by them, but it's a document that I don't think that Matlala would have an issue of hunting and having that document. It's a document that is in the circle of security matters. Indeed, it might happen that is lying about Cele and Zuma and all that kind of stuff. That is why, when Mr. Mkhunu says, let's lie, and that's why I'm saying that, well, it didn't say who's lying, Mr. Mkhunu. It might have been Cele lying, might have been Matlala lying, it might have been him lying, Mr. Mkhunu, because he might have said those things. So there is somewhere the truth. But if you say to me, this is not the truth, I would not have an issue to say I agree with it. But when it comes to I'm sure you did see on that one, I'll have a little bit of a problem believing it with ease.
Honorable Malim.
General, what is interesting is that at the Madlanga Commission, Witness C says when they were raiding Matlala's house, he asked them that the wife must leave because they found him with the wife. The wife must leave, and then he remained with them. And he started throwing names that I know so and so, I'm working with so and so. And coincidentally, he told them that I've got a relationship with Mkhunu and I'm going to see Mkhunu. We have got an appointment and all of that, which is what you told us, that is what he told you, that he knows this person and they've got some working arrangement through Mogotsi and all of that. Will that be a coincidence or a confirmation to an extent that there seems to be something happening between Mchunu and Matlala? And what is more interesting is that he doesn't say anything about you to those police. He doesn't say, I've got this or that with Cele. He says, Mchunu this, Mchunu that. And then he puts Sibia as well in the whole thing, that they work with Sibia and exactly what we've been hearing here. What's your comment about that?
Well, this is the 6th. The rate is on the 6th of December. Definitely, it would have not come across with me. Much later in December, maybe there is one truthful thing that he would have said. But, Chairperson, I don't want to go beyond honorable member of things from other sources. So, as the honorable member has asked, why I would not concede that is lying when he says, I'll work with you, provided you don't work with Cele and Zuma on this project. It is online. It is online of politics. That thing of working with you in the project of becoming a president or a deputy president. But as I've said, that I would concede if I'm convinced that it was lies. But for the fact that there are other sources that come with that, so we'll have to look at it much closer. It did tell me about the payment. It did tell me and showed me the payment of the team that were argued that it was paid on behalf of Mchunu coming here, their flights, their hotels, and all that kind of thing. So I know. So maybe one person that we need to look at very closely here would be Mohotsi. Mohotsi, with those screenshots, was asking a lot of 12 rand, 7 rand, or I mean 12,000, 7,000 and all that. He was making a lot of collection on that. Did that arrive where it was meant for on behalf of the minister? Or, but as I agree with you, the name keeps cropping up, and that should be a worry.
Honorable Sangun.
Thank you, Chair. Not quickly, General, just on this thing that if we were to consider whether Mr. Matlala could have perhaps maybe lied, let's say, about him and the minister and Brown, did you not consider to ask him why he didn't go to Minister Mchunu, who he has such a very good relationship with, and he's funding his presidential ambitions? Why didn't he go and report to Minister Mchunu that Sibia is making him do what Sibia asked him to do, to lie? You didn't think to ask him that maybe, General?
Well, Sibia was lying about Khumalo. Is that the understanding? That Sibia did not lie about the minister. He lied. He said Matlala must write the affidavit against Khumalo. Then I don't know why the reason that he would go to minister to say that Sibia says I must lie. I think it was more of the police issue. Maybe that question would be why it didn't go to the national commissioner or other people. I don't know why, and I don't see the reason why it would go to the minister.
I've got only one question now, but you see why I could not finish early, as I had committed to Honorable Matthias and others. because my questions are provoking further interventions. One last question. I hope, yeah. General, it's my last question. You know, Matlala, this character, Matlala, you made a very good point earlier on that, and maybe you were also answering that question jokingly when one of the members was saying something about you being associated with a character like that, and you made reference to the fact that you are a retiree, you are no longer a minister. If you were a minister, you were going to have to come back and declare in an event where you had made use of the facilities of that person. Now, and I think we all have understood that. But besides the fact that you are a retired Minister General, you are not a retired leader of our movement and our people. And me and you know that our movement has historically prided itself as a parliament of the people of South Africa because of not just itself, but also the conduct of its leaders. Don't you think that if you look at it now with the benefit of hindsight, that your association in whatever kind it assumes, acquaintance, or there's a word that was used here, in whatever kind that it assumes, don't you think that it does have a negative impact on the standing of the African National Congress? And don't you think in the context like that, you are contributing indirectly in diminishing the standing of the African National Congress by being associated with such characters? Thanks, Chair. That was my last question.
Chairperson, when I met Matlala, I was not arrested. I did not even know that he's a wanted for the things that are there. By the way, many of the leaders of Matlala, leaders of the movement, have been seen with Matlala. I hope you have seen his photo with the president. I hope you have. Yeah, it's public. Is there, and I guess many people would not know, and as I would not have known then, but I repeat of what I said. Taking what I know now, I would not behave as I behaved before I know who he is and what kind of a character.
Pangazita.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. I'm actually prompted by the response of the General, because you know, one would have actually expected that the General, having been the Minister, you know, would have some kind of access to intelligence, you know, information. I find it very difficult to understand and accept Tuguti Matlala could actually invade the corridors of leadership of this country without, you know, having been vetted by some security agencies, be it criminal, South African, security, whatever. I can't accept that. I find it very difficult whether or not we still have a intelligence capacity as a country. If not, then we are very vulnerable. Thank you.
General, do you have any comment to make?
Well, the comment is that what I said yesterday to say is not the terrain of the minister to know the intelligence world. It's not. Somebody raised a question about counterintelligence. I just imagine the minister calling the counterintelligence. That would be worst. But with the president and those structures, remember, president has access to all these structures. The state security, for instance, the national commissioner and the head of intelligence in the police can be called by the president without telling me. If they want, they can tell me. If they don't want, they cannot tell me. The state security could be. And I think even the DI, president can have an access to DI. So if you ask me that question, I will take it that such a character would have been known and in the radar of these structures. At a certain given point, having said, Mr. President, there is such issue with this person. Has that happened? I don't know. Maybe it has happened. Maybe it has been after some time. But there is one problem about photos. It's a serious problem. I'm not sure whether, I know one person that they take a lot of photos with his Julius, Honorable Malem. And then
I don't have a photo with Matlala. Never.
Well, at least Usbaru wako. So, and then these photos, you find them moving around. So, and you really say, did I take this one? You know this Matlala issue. There is a photo that I've taken recently. I was not even aware that one person has changed here. So now, when it moves around and you see that there are changes, you realize, yeah, man. So at this level, it can happen when people. But I agree with you that at the top level, there must be people that are protecting to say, but you can't take it without shouting. So this picture can't be there and all that kind of thing. So I agree with you on that one.
Honorable James.
Thank you, Chair. Just to add on to the Chief Whip's comment, not only does it negatively tarnish the image of the political party to which you belong, it also sends a painful message. Although we are discussing things here at a very high level, it also sends a very painful message to the mother down there whose child has just stolen from her. When you sleep in the hotel of someone that is allegedly embroiled in drug cartels, it means that you almost become indirectly a beneficiary of what we go through in our communities. So when we look at you as a leader, and we expect your conduct to be of such. I accept what you said earlier on, that your relationship, in hindsight right now, when you look at it, it was a mistake. It should never have happened. But I just thought that I would emphasize how the public feels, how we as mothers and as people that's living with this feel when we see you benefiting from our pain and from the monies that our children steal from us. Thank you, Minister.
Honorable Chair, is exactly the point that human beings will make mistakes. You come back and say it happened. I'm sure those mothers would have that question. But when I said, I didn't know this person is, now I know and it won't happen, I believe that they would understand. Thanks.
SC.